Okay, this is a big shout out to a guy in London called Curtis Walker, one of the most decent men I've ever met. And he put a funny video online today about his out of date Jamaican fish powder. But I am actually using Jamaican spices here in Thailand to make my own my own style jerk. But it's also dedicated to a young nephew Andy, who years ago, Andy McAuliffe, learned a recipe about doing jerk food. Now, I haven't made my own, but you'll see I'm rubbing the ingredients in by hand. Now, I haven't made my own jerk powders up, but one of the ingredients I put in is this one. Raja all-purpose seasoning. That's my choice. I'm not recommending it. I'm not advertising it, but it's okay. Now the next one I'll put in is something called Portland jerk. You've got to be careful with Portland jerk because it has like some highly aromatic spices, which in Indian cooking we wouldn't use for flavouring. We'd use aromatics. I'm thinking like clove and clove, yeah. So as well as that, I'm using crushed extra chilies hot. Now, I'm in Thailand, and believe you me, well, chilies are hot here, but I brought these with me because I had them in my house. And I'm using Raja jerk seasoning. Now, yeah, I could make my own, but I came to Thailand with 2 kilos of Caribbean seasoning powders to make jerk and 5 kilos of British cheeses. So I've already done the administration. These are big ribs, pork ribs, bigger than I prefer, but no problem. Even when we were frosted in my fridge, I put the mixture over them. Yeah. By the way, if you think my hands are dirty, not having to wash my hands 10 times, I think this mixture will kill corona right off. So I left them frozen in the bag with all this mixture of herbs and an organic sweetener. I might put a drop of brandy on there, I might put a drop of vinegar on there. Then I took them out of the freezer to kind of, I don't know what the word is, but basically stay in their own juices and powders for a couple of days, cold. And that's what it is. Jamaica pork style, and this is inspired by Curtis Walker's out of date fish powder, and that video made me laugh so much. And my young brother, my nephew Andy, who actually had a purchase on this kind of food years ago, and it's a call out to a pub called the Hamilton in Brixton, which is now closed. Where I used to have some great jerk chicken, which is given away for free, great goat curry. So it might seem odd that I'm in a country full of spices, Thailand, and I'm using Jamaican Caribbean spices. But I'm working on this recipe. Might add a bit of lemon juice, wine or vinegar. But it's my recipe. So I've kept 2 or 3 of the ingredients fucking secret. And when I get home, and I start up a little takeaway stall in Herne Hill Market, if the Herne Hill middle class mafia will let me. I haven't decided whether to call my restaurant Al's Ribs or Spice Island Ribs. Now, I'm going to take it out right now. And I haven't decided whether to... I have decided. I can't use my gas-operated barbecue because I'm saving it for emergencies. To reference the last video. Because if all the electricity goes off here, I'll have to be cooking on my gas. So I'm going to use the modern electric cooker here. But the problem is, this is Thailand, and we have a bit of a problem with the timer. So the only way I can get the timer to work, the oven to work, is by jamming a chopstick under that dial, so that dial will work, and then I can see whether or not the oven's working. Well, it is. It's got to be a bit weird, hasn't it? You know. Talk about not a clash of cultures, a confusion of cultures. Yeah, fuck fusion. But you know what I mean. So there we go. I'll leave this on for about, it's electricity. I'm a northerner. I don't trust electricity. So I'll leave this pile on for about 1 to 7 hours. And as the curfew's approaching, I'll have plenty to do, because I've worked out a system of dealing with a lock-in. I'll stare at the clock and see how many nanoseconds there are in a second. Well, you get the idea. Well, anyway, Curtis Walker, big call out for the comedy, and I'm a bit worried, Curtis, that the last time I saw you, the last conversation we had was in the Prince Regent Arroll pub. And we remarked on the fact not only was there none of our mates there, our pals from the old days, I'm going back there to Steve Starr, blah, 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 we won't go over that again. There was nobody even faced with you. Curtis, it was a great conversation. And I've never not had a good conversation with you since we first knew each other in the old days. In the old days, I'm in 83. I'm a bit worried, because you're a professional comedian, I'm not. I'm a bit worried that we must ensure that our last conversation we had together, talking about your man, and you had an upcoming gig, didn't you? Somewhere in South London. I just hope that last conversation we had wasn't our last conversation. So, this is Digital Arts, but in a big world to a small screen somewhere near you. And we're all going to get through this, by the way. I'm absolutely fucking confident of it. And, by the way, I don't know how Facebook works. So I don't know whether this is going my Facebook, your Facebook, my timeline, your front page. I don't even know what page, I don't know what a wall is. I don't know what my storyline is. Anyway, to everybody out there, friends, family, mates, muckers, our kids in the north, and my pals all around the world, and my colleagues, this is Digital Arts, showing you my recipe for my Spice Island ribs. And just to go over it again, we got Raja jerk seasoning, super hot, extra hot chilies, Portland jerk, which, as I say, got too many aromatics in for my taste, and all-purpose seasoning.